Jamie Carragher, are we witnessing the changing of the guard?
Well, certainly for this season, it looks like I don't feel there's any way back for Manchester City now. Not just because of
defiance from Pep Guardiola, though.
Yeah, he's putting his 6 fingers up, and rightly so. I think he mentioned it an interview with Pat Davidson a few days ago. Sometimes you need to lose so people actually realise what you've done. I think he's just hitting home exactly. Don't take for granted what we've done. Maybe he was sending a message to the hierarchy above him, to his own supporters there. But this season, Manchester City will not be winning the Premier League.
Reminding people of his achievements, Micah. 6 Premier League titles, unprecedented, 4 in a row. But is it the end of an era?
No, I wouldn't say it's the end of an era. I think we're going through a difficult period. He's going to find a way to get back to what he does best. I think some of the players are letting him down. Today, they're a shadow of their best. I said he's looking for reaction. We didn't get that today. The first half, it could have been 3 or 4-0 to Liverpool. Second half, at times, they control the game.
He's clapping
all
the Liverpool
fans. It's too easy to play against at this moment in time. I mentioned before the game about defensively not good enough. In midfield, they're getting overrun, and up front, they've got nothing at this moment in time. In previous games, you could say they've played well and dominated the ball, but if we're being honest today, Liverpool absolutely battered them. They had a little period. Doku come on, injected a little bit of pace in that second half. Obviously, Kevin De Bruyne's chance as well. But it's a shadow of the team that I've witnessed over this last Pep era.
The City, the champions, and their throne is slipping. Liverpool now 9 points clear, just 13 games into this season. Then come Arsenal and Chelsea, locked together on points, goals scored, goals difference. On the result against each other, Arsenal in front by virtue of alphabetical order right now. Brighton in 4th. Then come Manchester City, 11 points off top spot. Just 13 games into the season. And only 1 ahead of Nottingham Forest, who they play this week. Then come Spurs, Brentford, Manchester United up into the top half, as well as Fulham. Newcastle and Aston Villa, 2 sides of experienced Champions League football in recent seasons, now slipping into the bottom half of the table, along with Bournemouth, West Ham, Everton, Leicester, Crystal Palace and the bottom 3. Wolves, Ipswich and Southampton. That's how the table looks. We have another heavyweight clash to look forward to later this month. You can see that right now on Sky Documentaries. We have an awful...
Join us today on Telegram for free and enjoy the Premier League. Don't miss out. Link in description below.
Guys, well played. Huge result. Mo, it just felt like from minute 1 today, you just smelt blood.
Yeah, it's crazy that the fans were behind us from the first minutes. And I'm glad we managed to win the game. We know City is going to come, try to win the game here, but we managed to play the good game and win the game.
Virgil, years and years of going up against this relentless machine, and to be fair, sometimes getting the better of them. But today, did you sense there was a vulnerability there?
After the game, it's always easy to say these things. I think City is a fantastic team. 4 times champions in a row, and they have quality to punish any team. I think we were very solid defensively. Offensively, we did our part as well. We created good chances and could have scored more. So overall, it's been a great day, and now we recover and be ready for another game on Wednesday.
Yeah, I was watching you actually when you went for the coin toss, and they turned you round, so you were shooting it into the cop first half. You looked really annoyed about that. But actually, did it end up working for you?
I was annoyed by the fact that he started the toss without me even acknowledging. I was obviously busy with my mascot Isaac, and obviously took a little bit of time, but he started the coin toss already quite quickly. So I was a little bit annoyed by that because I think just wait and. But anyway, good game. We won and we move on.
Mo, talk us through that first goal. Hell of a ball for Cody.
Yeah, I'm a good player, so no, I think we train well to be in. Always, if you have the ball, the other side has to be in the second post. So I told Cody before the game, every time I have the ball, and if the chance for me to play the ball to you, I will play it for sure. So him and Lucho as well. So we train that ball in training. We managed to do it in the game. It's great.
How special are days like this? Mo, how special is Anfield when it's like this?
It's very special. I said before, I don't take it for granted. I'm enjoying every minute here. It feels like home. So, yeah, it's a special feeling always scoring Anfield and win games.
Yeah, even more so at the moment. You've been fairly vocal about your own sort of future and situation. Do you enjoy it more because maybe it's, there's not maybe another City home game left?
Of course. Honestly, that was in my head. Like, this is probably until now the last City game I play for Liverpool. So I'm just gonna enjoy it. The atmosphere was incredible, so I'm enjoying every second here, and hopefully we just win the league and see what will happen.
Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you, but what I will ask you: 11 points to City, 9 points to second. How significant is that?
Listen, we focus on the next one. That's the only thing we can do, and that's.
You don't talk about it at all.
No, I don't, of course not. There's no point in this stage of the season to get ahead of ourselves. Obviously, everyone wants to be in a position where they, in this case, 11 points in front of the opponent today. But so many twists and turns. Now we have some injuries as well to our team, unfortunately, and we have to deal with that as well. And it's game by game, and stay calm. But games like this, and when you win it like this, it's always a good feeling. And now we're back to recovery and be ready for a very tough one away.
Okay, so there was a big debate about player of the match, and the man next to you.
Okay, we give it to him.
Yeah, well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we give it to him.
I had a view, so you can give it.
Oh yeah. So who picked him?
Gary Neville.
Okay, yeah, well done.
Oh,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm surprised that Carzy didn't give it to you, but.
Oh, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't give it to him.
Oh, here we go. We're on pundit watch here.
The
pundits being.
And the gauntlet, Jamie.
I'll see him in the car park.
Stood next to Roy. Twins, he's waiting.
I don't know what they're talking about, Roy. That's unfair. We will come to the contract. There's an awful lot for us to talk about here this evening, but let's start with the significance of this. What do you think?
Huge. You see the reaction of the players, and obviously they've got to play it down a little bit, but huge result, great performance. City obviously look way off it. I know there's lots of stats we look at after the game, but we're watching it live here, and Liverpool were so well ahead of them. Defensively, rock solid. Energy, pace, power. They should have scored a lot more goals. They had a real desire then to keep a clean sheet at the end. Outstanding Liverpool performance. I thought they mixed their game up really well, particularly the first half. When to play, when to go long. They turned up basically, particularly their big players. We saw two of them there. I thought the two players were outstanding.
Given the level of the quality of the opposition, Daniel, the history of this fixture as well, and what was at stake, how close were Liverpool to almost perfection with that performance?
Very close. I mean, they controlled the game for the most part, really, in terms of, not conceding too many chances. The first half, City didn't really do much, to be honest. And then, of course, Doku comes on, does a little bit. But besides that, Liverpool had full control of the game. They were threatening, runs in behind, tenacious, attitude. They looked like they wanted it. And there was that feeling in the stands when you hear the fans roaring. And when City, had moments, Liverpool's fans were like, let's, get right behind the boys again. And the players and how the manager set them up today as well, I think, was magnificent. He had the midfielders pressing all over the pitch. They set the intensity for the team. All round fantastic performance from the players, and it was really professional performance as well, because you can let it get out of hand, and they didn't let that happen.
I think you expected a reaction from City, didn't you? I don't remember seeing Pep Guardiola reacting quite like that before, as he did to Liverpool fans singing about him being sacked in the morning.
No, obviously he's going to be annoyed. We've talked about Pep since he come to the club. Obviously his first season was difficult, was nowhere near winning the league, and then he started building that momentum. And what City have done over the last couple of years has been staggering. We did the game last week at Spurs, and he asked me, is it a crisis? I said, no, it's not a crisis, because you go into the Champions League game and you think, okay, 3-0 up, and then it's free. And now you come to Liverpool. And it's not just the fact that anyone can come to Liverpool. At Anfield, great stadium, fans were like a fortress at times. But it's the way they got beat is, for me, I've not seen for a while with this City team. You can talk about the defence, you can talk about midfield, you can talk about attack. It's the collective. If you look at the difference between Liverpool and Man City, they was all together. At times, Man City, there was just disjointed. didn't sort of know what they was going to do. They sort of put Rico Lewis on the right. Obviously, we've seen him in midfield, and he's a right back by trade. You got Mateus Nunes on the left as well. So they got into these good opportunities, but they couldn't do anything with it. It just feels like everything is a yard off.
So does it seal in your mind? You talking before the game about if they lose potentially, possibly, maybe, that means they're out of the title race?
No, I think if you're looking at the stats, if you're looking at the game, you know, and you're analysing the game, it's bleak at this time too. I'm not going to rule them out completely because football is like that, but I can't see him catching Liverpool at this.
I think it is almost a mini crisis for Manchester City, and I think it's reminiscent of Liverpool 2 years ago. And I actually think Man City might have a fight on their hands for top four. I actually look at Arsenal and Chelsea and the way they're looking right now. I think it'd be difficult for Man City to finish above them if they don't go into the market in January. And I go back a couple of years, the season Man City won the treble. Liverpool went to the Etihad, I think, in about April and got beat 4-1. And it could have been 6 or 7, got absolutely battered. And you felt like it was almost the end of that Jurgen Klopp team. But what it was the end of the midfield. This was Henderson and Fabinho at the time. And no matter how good a manager you are, you can't fix that. I don't think Pep can fix that in terms of midfield. Now, this has been going on for 4 or 5 games. He needs to buy players in there. Now, if he can do it in January, who knows? But may need to wait till the end of the season to fix this. Because right now, I could see Man City maybe losing another 4 or 5 games between the...
By 2-0. We'll talk about that atmosphere, which we were very privileged to experience today in a moment. But just to pick up on what Mo Salah was saying there, on the back of what he said at Southampton last week that we were discussing on the Final Word show, he said that probably my last game for Liverpool here against Manchester City. Is this the game of chess continuing?
Well, there's obviously last came out and dropped the bomb type of thing, has he? So yeah, it was an interesting thing to say in an interview, of course, but you know, what's the alternative? I suppose you say no comment and things like that. That's how he feels at the moment. He said the same, you know, a week or so ago. I'm more out than in was his quote last week, and that's where things are at the moment. I'm sure there will be further negotiation. There's a long time between now and the end of the season. The crowd absolutely adore him. The club adore him. He adores the club. He's just one of the most incredible players with great success, playing in a team that are, you know, on top of the world at the moment. I still believe, I can't bring myself to think that he won't be here last season. But obviously with comments like that, it does make you wonder.
Where are you with this, Cola?
He just said probably. That means there's a probability for him to stay, which I think is good for Liverpool. Of course, he's a fantastic player, and definitely if he goes, they will miss him because he's a goal scorer. He's a guy who can create goal. He's a guy who helped the team when they are in tough moment, like the penalty he scored today. And but we know in the game that sometimes players at that age, they sometimes go for the bigger money, I will say. And but we hope that he stay in the Premier League, of course.
The one thing that I think, if you're wanting to go, if you're thinking of going, you try to avoid it. You don't really want to speak about it. You almost let the days and games tick away. And I think that's what it almost. It's not a cry to, you know, an appeal or anything, but I do think just the way he's speaking about it, he's almost putting Liverpool, the football club's hand to the fire in a way and saying, you know, I'm telling you now, I'm telling the whole world what you're going to do about it. The crowd are now won't be too happy. Liverpool supporters around the world won't be too happy if the club.
And he knows people like us will then be discussing it.
Exactly. But if he didn't want to stay, he wouldn't want to be. Why would he be saying that? Why would he be saying, you know, they haven't spoken to me and things like that? So I think there's still a little bit of water under the bridge to go on this one.
Look, he's a top player, but he's a good businessman as well. He really is a good businessman, and this is a business, right? Okay, loves the place is singing his name. He absolutely adores it here. Why not? He's got in such a position of strength right now, and he's only telling the truth, right? He's only telling the truth. He can't give us anything other than the truth. It's just quite hard to hear and quite interesting to hear because it's so dramatic. But he's only telling the truth. Incredible player, very good businessman.
Well, City, we hope he's not here because he scored more goals against City than any other player. That was number 12 today.
Yeah, I thought he was excellent today. The work that went on in that team, that Liverpool team today, turning the ball over that first 15 minutes. Szoboszlai, incredible. Mo Salah chipped in behind. Great ball into Gakpo and then getting to score the penalty at the end. All the headlines are about him, but that was such a good team performance by Liverpool.
Let's have a look at how the penalty came about for Mo Salah to score his latest goal against Manchester City.
Yeah, well, I think the one complaint here from Manchester City is that Mo Salah was in an offside position. You see him there at the top of the screen, and if that ball, and he starts making a move towards it. However, that's the debate. I think it's fine personally.
What about the City goalkeeper's point of view here? Does that affect Ortega's decision in any way, Joe?
That was the first time I had it in mind to really work out what he was thinking, and I think immediately Salah makes an impression that he's not going for that ball. I think it's very intelligent from Mo Salah, actually, and Ortega realises he's going to have to deal with Diaz. There's that obvious turnover that no one wants to see, that no one expects. As I say, when Man City were playing backwards today, I thought they were really poor, whereas usually it's just an option to recycle. They look vulnerable. I think that's perfectly fine, perfectly fair.
I think for me, the variety of Liverpool of playing short passing and playing long when they need it was crucial today. And I think that's City struggle a lot with that because City like to put the pressure, but Liverpool
into the bottom corner it just shows you his mental strength. I know, I've done it myself. You take a penalty, you miss one, the next one you are a little bit panicky. I tend to go for pace after that, thinking, you know what, just smack it as hard as you can and make sure you keep it underneath the bar. But really, calmness is the way forward, and he showed great mental strength for that.
Mind you, this is a guy who's got 29 of 35 Premier League penalties now, so we shouldn't really be doubting Mo Salah too much. He's a big moment player as well as a big game player, Cole.
Absolutely, that's why he's Mo Salah. That's why he's special. In the big moment, he will step up. He will take the responsibility to shoot the penalty. So many players will just turn their back and think like, I missed a very important penalty against Real Madrid, and then this time I just give to somebody. We just step up, get the ball, and score, which was a big moment because I felt like City were coming back a little bit.
I was just about to say that. Did you feel that at 1-0, that there was a chink of light for Manchester City before that penalty?
There certainly was a chink of light. There was some good football being played, but I thought Liverpool looked really controlled. Obviously in the first half, this was coming. You could really feel this first goal coming. Brilliant movement, great ball across from Salah. But the second half that we were just talking about there, it wasn't necessarily happening. But yeah, like I say, this first half was breathless.
Yeah, they played that ball a lot, didn't they, into this right-hand side for Mo Salah to chase. And, I mean, he's so quick. And then once he picks the ball up, he lifts his head up, smacks it right across the back post. I think Kyle Walker would be disappointed to let Cody Gakpo get ghost in there, and Gakpo does really well. Gakpo's having a really good season himself.
6 in 8 at Anfield now.
Really good. And do you know what I like? Some people would hit that over, Some people always try to hit it in the middle of the ball with their boot. Sometimes let it hit you. Take the pace off even if it hits you on the shin or on the knee or anywhere, just make sure you go over. And I had an opportunity to, Steve. It looks easy. But that ball was coming across with pace, and he's having a really good season. But Mo Salah, he was the difference again today.
When you play higher line like that, like Man City, you expect your goalkeeper to be a little bit high up to just cover for a long ball. But that ball from Alexander-Arnold is just on the side.
Not
goalkeeper union.
Not having it. No chance. I think it's an incredible ball. The more I see it, he's just, obviously the way he answered it, he's a good player, as Mo Salah pointed out. But he is, oh my God, that ball is absolutely beautiful in between about three or...
Much more reflection here at Anfield. That is the Premier League weekend done. That was begun with the draw on Friday between Brighton and Southampton. Then that big win for Brentford on Saturday. Forest back to winning ways. Bournemouth winning at Wolves. And the 5-star show from Arsenal at West Ham. Earlier on today, Villa, without a win in 8 games now in all competitions under Unai Emery, beaten 3-0 at Chelsea. Manchester United, Ruben Amorim's first home league game in charge, beating Everton 4-0. And Fulham coming back to get a point at Spurs 1-1. And we've just watched Liverpool beat Manchester City here at Anfield by 2-0. And this is what it does to the top of the table. Liverpool 11 clear of Manchester City, 9 clear of Arsenal and Chelsea. And reminder, at this stage of a Premier League season, that is only the second time that has happened. City in 5th, out of the top 4, 7 without a win in all competitions. Manchester United have moved within 4 of those Champions League places and up to 9th. At the bottom it is Southampton, then Ipswich, then Wolves. Palace out of the drop zone by only goal difference, and Ruud van Nistelrooy about to take charge of Leicester, 1 point above the drop zone. Everton, after that defeat at Old Trafford, are 2 above the bottom 3, and Villa are the big fallers. They're into the bottom half in 12th. Stay with.
A 1-0 Liverpool lead could have been a lot more in truth for Manchester City at half-time. Jamie Carragher's joined us. How did Liverpool set the tone early on?
By playing Jurgen Klopp type of football, and that's one of the reasons why this manager was brought into the club, because there was elements of his style of football was very reminiscent of Jurgen Klopp, and this is exactly what we've seen in this opening 45 minutes. I've never seen a Liverpool dominate a Manchester City team or a Pep Guardiola team like this before. I mean, the fact it's still only 1-0 is an absolute miracle for Manchester City.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Carzy. I mean, they're just disjointed. They don't seem to know where to press. Liverpool are doing exactly what they need to do tactically, the way they're pressing here. And Man City just couldn't get out in the first opportunities in the game. Everything just looks like they are massively low on confidence. And it could have been 3 or 4 in that first half.
It certainly felt, Daniel, the goal was coming, didn't it?
Yeah, for sure. They were knocking on the door, no one was answering. But then you see this pass. This is a world-class pass, first and foremost. To put it in an area like that with the right drive. And then you see Mo, he's biding his time. And this is absolutely ridiculous. To be able to squeeze the ball, the timing of it perfect, the weight of it perfect. And I think in positions like this, certain wingers, they're just trying to put it in an area. They're not really thinking about who they're going for. You see him, he's analysing, he's looking up, he's waiting. Times it perfectly, and Cody Gakpo's thinking, please Lord, just let this hit the right body part. Keeps his head up, but look at this, analyse the eyes, he's waiting. And the timing of that, it's inches from the keeper.
World class.
Give him what he wants.
We've not got time now, but we have to analyse Kyle Walker's positioning as well. It's ridiculous.
It's got nothing to do with your pace, that you could be more switched
He's
on.
got to get in
So
early
1-0
goals.
and a couple of big moments that Virgil van Dijk would have expected to probably do better from as well.
Yeah, certainly. There's some good opportunities, good delivery. And I think if you look at it, the keeper does get a touch in this. This is a world-class save. Absolutely brilliant. Van Dijk's been a danger. We know it, how aggressive he is. And I think he gets a touch. Certainly makes the difference, but it was a difficult chance. I think this is a better chance. I think this is the one he'd be really disappointed. He sees it all the way, gets a clear header. 6 yards out, look at him, times it well, a little bit of movement. Has to do better. That's huge opportunity.
So